The live concert is complete. Thank you for joining. Emergency announcement. We are preparing for a defensive operation against a large number of dolls appearing in the Retev region. All ARCS defenders, please prepare for deployment.
What? What the fuck? Bruh.
I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is this? Well, this? What the fuck is this?
Emergency announcement. We are
This is-
preparing for a defensive operation against a large number of dolls.
I can't even get it straight. Hold on, let me.
All ARCS defenders, please prepare for deployment.
Bruh. Look at this dude.
Even in New Genesis, you gotta deal with that crap. This, my friends, is the result of next level degeneracy that happens when you have a limited time scratch ticket. And you don't do it until the last 48 hours because you just assume that the items you're gonna get from it are available forever, which is not true. What the fuck am I talking about? Well, you guys know I made an alt, which is Zara here. There we go. The outfit she's wearing is not tradable in the personal shop, and I only found that out at the last second when I was just looking at these one day, a couple days ago. This one right here. This is where I got most of her outfit from. I looked through the prize list and I was like, you know what? Most of this stuff is pretty cool. I'm playing PSO2 right now, not NGS, so I'm gonna miss out on most of this because I'm not participating in the event. Okay, this is my thought process. I'm not participating in the event, so I'm gonna miss out on this. And then I noticed this text right here. Not tradable in personal shop. And my idea this entire month, because this event ends in a few days, my idea this entire month was literally, okay, so I'll just wait until, you know, I'll wait until I'm done with PSO2 and even like NGS, and then afterwards I will, you know, I'll just browse the personal shops and I'll buy the items that I missed out on from this event, from the Super Fantasy Festival. It's basically the anniversary event for PSO2. And that was my plan, so that I could get this whole outfit. Like, I basically looked through the prize list and I put together an outfit in my mind. I was like, you know, I wanted to wear this, this, and this. And I was like, you know, this will look really cool on her. I'll get this stuff from the personal shops after the event's over, because I'm not going to participate. I'm focusing on PSO2 and Affinia and yada yada. And then I saw that and was like, oh no. I just immediately went, fuck! And I dropped everything. I dropped everything at that point and just started grinding the seasonal event. Like, I basically speedran NGS. I bought a job skip. Fuck it, I'll say it. I bought a job skip. This game's version of a job skip. I bought level 80 Ranger because I saw from people that you can literally just hold down the I win button, and that's exactly what I did. I held down the I win button and just speedran the story, which is thankfully less than 8 hours, especially if you skip cutscenes. So I have no idea what the fuck was happening, which was the point. I was trying to minimize the spoilers as much as possible by not having context, by skipping all the cutscenes. And I was skipping all the cutscenes to get through it as fast as possible so I could unlock the limited time quest that they had going on until a few days ago, to farm seasonal points to get the scratch tickets and then use those to get the outfit. And I did it. I managed to succeed like the night before the event ended. Specifically the event to be able to farm seasonal points. You can't get seasonal points anymore. But if you finish getting as many as you could and you bought the scratch tickets, you can still redeem them for a couple more days anyway. It's kind of lag right now. Yeah, we have until September 9th and it's September 5th. But the ability to actually farm these scratch tickets and the ability to farm the scratch tickets as well as the seasonal points to buy them, I bought all of them because I had to, in order to get the items I wanted. that ended a few days ago. So these are still just up so you can redeem them. You have to redeem them before September 9th, but you can't get any more at this point. So yeah, I went out of my way to do that, and that's literally one of the major reasons I've been gone the past few days. Because it's like, hold on a second, that event ended a couple days ago. Why were you not here yesterday or the day before? Why we're not streaming? That's because right after the event was over, I had a birthday party for a family member, and we kind of, you know, we fucked around and had a lot of fun. But then the next day, I was in no condition to stream. I was just like fuck it, I can't, you know. It turned into a mess. This week was just a mess. Right after doing this, right after farming this, a bunch of IRL stuff happened in my personal life. Good stuff, fun stuff, but that's what kept me from streaming for so long. But that's all over now, and we're back. And this was just my way of opening up today's stream because why not? I was like, I might as well show why I've been... One of the major reasons I was gone for so long is because I was getting Zara a proper outfit for when we finally do a playthrough, a story campaign playthrough with her, which I will do eventually. Not right after I'm done with Leon. Like, we'll take a break and play some other games and then loop back to Phantasy Star Online 2. But yes, I have actually enjoyed PSO2 enough that I do want to do another story playthrough of it someday. Not too far away either. I do like to replay, when I've enjoyed a game, I do like to replay the story again almost right after or not too long after, basically. I haven't even done that with FF7 Rebirth though, so yeah, we'll eventually loop back around to this and we'll do our second playthrough with her. And she now has a good starting outfit to go with, so I think it was worth it. I think it was very much worth it. Alright. Now that that's out of the way, where the fuck I've been for the past few days, well, there you go. At least the YouTube uploads had a chance to catch up. Peaches ain't here right now, don't worry. Anyway. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Ship selection to switch over to Leon, and then, yeah, okay.
He's pulling his cock out!
Maybe a little bit. While she was dancing. Yeah, the job skip was on Leon, by the way. So I had Slayer as well as Hunter as a subclass while skipping through the entire story as a level 80 ranger, basically. So they got some level ups there. What I'll do is, I forgot to mention this part. When I do actually do a story playthrough of NGS for the first time, you know, not skipping the cutscenes and to avoid spoilers as much as possible, I'm gonna start another copy of Leon, basically. I have his character data saved, so I can do that. I'll start another copy of Leon on a different server, basically. I can even do it on this server. Like, the game just lets you start from the beginning if you want, when you make a new character. That's totally fine. And it does have a sort of New Game Plus. Like, it's like PSO2 where you can actually just rewatch old scenes, old cutscenes, and do old missions, basically, even after you've completed them. But it still has that system from PSO2. But I'll most likely, just to get like the full actual new player experience, I will actually just start a new character, and I'll probably do it on a new server just because I was planning on making copies of my characters on different servers so I could visit people no matter where they are, basically. Because there's no way to travel from one server to another. They don't have that like in FF14. And there's no plans to like merge the servers either. So, anyway. Is that it? Yeah. Okay, now we can go. Outside of that, I hope everyone's been having a good week. I think the last time I streamed was Saturday? Yeah, Sunday was when I realized I had to do that event. That's when I stopped. That's when I totally canceled the hell out of that stream and just went all in on seasonal points and the special Super Fantasy Festival scratch tickets. It's only because they made the... Well, let me put it this way. It's only because they made those outfit pieces, like everything in that scratch is non-tradable. The only way to trade with other players is through the personal shop. All non-tradable through the personal shop. But also, I realized shortly after, even if it was, I probably did the right thing anyway. Even if I could have just bought those things, because the prices for like any cosmetic, for almost all cosmetics in the personal shops, which are set by other players, of course, you're buying them off other players, are ridiculously high because of runaway inflation. Or at least that's what the community's been saying. That's why like when I researched this stuff, the community was saying there's a lot of inflation. And yeah, I mean, there's like one piece of clothing I still want to get for Zera that's like 17 million meseta. And I ain't got it like that, so it'll take like months to grind for it.
Which quest are you up for?
And that's assuming it's still up on the market by the time I get the money, and it hasn't changed price, which is, I doubt it, you know? But anyway.
Which quest are you up for?
So I probably did the right thing even if the stuff was tradable. I'm grinding out the tickets instead, you know? I probably saved myself a lot more headache doing that. Okay, so a couple things happened. Yeah, it has been a while since I last streamed. So right after I finished my last stream, let's go back to the bridge to give this proper context. Right after I finished my last stream of PSO2. So we finished here, right? And I came back here, and for some reason, I wanted to check something in the story list, the episode list. But when I talked to, I didn't know if I should talk to Xiao or Zera. And I just kind of talked to Zhao, and it initiated a sub-story scene. One of the ones we had on our list right before I ended last PSO2 stream. I was like, oops. And then I talked to Alma like an idiot because that initiated the other one. And I was like, God damn it. I like, because the stream had ended at this point. So I was, you know, basically watching cutscenes that I'm supposed to watch on stream. But it's like, the game doesn't ask you. It just triggers them. It's just because I talked to these fools. But luckily we can still rewatch them, and we'll do that. So yeah, we'll do that in a second. But one last order of business before we even get that done. I got a rainbow key. Not a rainbow party. For those who know what that is. A rainbow key for the Tokyo bonus stuff. I better just play it safe. And it expired, well, it was going to expire a couple days ago, so I had to use it. But I meant to show it on stream. So I just recorded it off stream. The playthrough of the Tokyo bonus key gold. Or sorry, rainbow. It's my second time doing it. The first time I did it off stream. This time I told myself when I got another one I wanted to actually show it on stream. So I recorded it. I think is it this one? Yes, it is. I think the audio capture didn't work though. For some reason. Or maybe I had weird settings on my OBS. Either way, I got the perfect idea for this. Yeah, I must have forgot to re-enable the audio on OBS, but I have a quick fix for that. Oh, not the website, the app. I never knew Spotify was a Swedish company. And then I saw my computer is like Swedish media service provider. Spotify. I was like, wait, really? I never knew that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go based off where we were on the Blue Burst Kenya streams. Okay, so it was that playlist. Okay. Do I not have here? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, cool. Got that set up. Let me open the video. Make Streamlabs capture it. Screen capture, properties. Movies and TV. There it is. There we go. Yeah, so I had a rainbow key for Tokyo. I think the reason I wanted to show it was kind of like a revenge tour, because even though it all happened off stream, so you guys didn't see it, I got my ass handed to me, because I was very much a lot newer to the game than I still am now. The first time I did one of these, I didn't even realize the value of the items I was picking up during this shit. And this is inventory management. Let me skip past this. So I didn't even realize the value, and I don't even think I was playing as a hero yet. I think I was still a hunter. I can't even remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was still a hunter. And the last enemy that appears just completely destroyed me, and this time I got my payback. Alright, we need some appropriate music. Here we go. There we go. This is appropriate. Only because I forgot to record audio. Otherwise I would have just played the in-game sound and music. I don't know why. I was like, wait, why does this have no audio? Could have sworn I had it unmuted when I was recording it, but I guess not. Oh, I think I know what happened. I'm not gonna explain it because, you know, it's technical shit. Who cares? But I think I know what it is. Yeah, I just realized I didn't use my speakers as a source. I used something else, and I don't think I have that other source set as set to record. That's probably why. That's a simple way of putting it. What I really like is you basically go through the same phases as Tokyo Bonus Key, Silver, and Gold. You go through the same phases, but they add a little extra gimmick with these mines. Like when you kill certain enemies, they explode and kill a bunch of other enemies, which is really nice. So we passed the point where the Silver Key would end, where the first one of those guys appears without the Rappy. This is where the Gold Key ends. You kill these two and the big Rappy. And then the Rainbow Key goes beyond that point, which is where we are now, basically. This next section. These explosions are satisfying, too. I wish I'd been more careful about recording audio. Like, those guys, I realized after I could have just killed them like that. Killing that one guy causes this enormous chain reaction, like... There. Part reverb will be the stand-in for those explosions. Bruh. 3 enemies left. I don't know what the gimmick is with these Meseta guys. I think oh, that's it. I killed them like that. There was no gimmick, I guess. It just seemed weird because I was like, did I do something... Like, this is just their death animation, I guess. Them throwing Meseta all over the place. But I thought it was like, maybe I did something wrong, or I'm supposed to do something different when you see them. I don't know. This prick, though, here, he's the one he killed me, like... Well, he killed me, and I didn't know you could just infinitely respawn and keep trying. So the timer almost ran out while I looked up how you were supposed to kill him, which is, you know, hitting the orbs on top. I'm describing what happened the first time I did Rainbow. The Rainbow Key back like months ago. There's no recording of it. But this time I knew what to expect, so I was actually more careful about fighting him. Get destroyed. That was the wrong button.
Dylan! Son of a bitch.
And there it is. All done. I'm not sure why I showed this. Kind of whatever. And there we go. The rank is obviously an S. Yeah, I think I got like a C last time because I didn't kill him until there was like a minute or 2 remaining, and that was it. And now I know the true value of those rising weapon badges right there that I just got. And I'm like, holy shit, I can get another kick-ass weapon. I might need more, actually, but still. Now I actually know the true value of the Rainbow Tokyo bonus keys. But yeah, there it is. Yeah, I wanted to show that. I meant to actually just do it live on stream. Because I was supposed to get back to streaming yesterday before it expired. But I was still hungover, quote unquote, because I didn't drink alcohol. It wasn't like a alcohol hangover, but I just called it that because I was still just like hella tired from partying with like family and friends. So I wasn't able to stream yesterday. I wanted to, but it got past me, man. It got past me. Anyway, so let's see. Let me set the... Oh yeah, so I gotta show the sub-story scenes that we missed. Okay, this is faster with a mouse. The two sub-story scenes that I accidentally triggered unintentionally. Hence accident.
Wish you the best of luck. I wish you the best of luck.
Off stream shortly after last stream. Zira lost her spot on the chair thanks to Shao over here. Fucking dictator. But so the ones I missed are... That's one of them. No, that's... I think there's... Hold on. It has its... That one has its own category. This one. So let's start with this one first. Grown up Shao, and then that one unlocked this one, episode Alma. Look back at the records. Those are the two scenes that played when I talked to Shao and then Alma, by accident, off stream. So I skipped through them because I'd rather just react to what happened. Well, I think one of them I actually paid attention to. Then the other one I kind of just glossed over a little bit. The Alma one I kind of glossed over a little bit. I was like, I should be watching these on stream. I didn't mean to trigger these, right? But the first one I did already watch. This one, Grown Up Shao. Luckily it was nothing too mind-blowing. But yeah. So yeah, this is picking up where we left off basically from last stream. So I talked to Shao and this happened.
You know, in all the commotion, I forgot to bring something up.
What's up, Matoi?
You've grown, haven't you, Shao?
Ah, you noticed. I was starting to get a little antsy that no one was bringing it up.
Really?
I figured that if I showed a little growth, it might help me get a better handle on what makes people tick. So here I am, new and improved.
Dylan!
I should mention that he's had this form since he created us 2 years ago. I never got to know the child version of Shao.
Son of a...
Shao is a child, huh? I'll bet he was super sassy and snotty.
If I ever came across as sassy, then you must have mistaken one of my relatives for me.
I mean, you kind of just proved your point a little bit.
Really? What do you think?
A little. Not really yet, though.
Shao's relative would be... Sarah, right? Well,
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Kind of. But, no, you're just sassy, dude.
Ah, you're a straight shooter. I won't deny what you say.
Though Sarah is also sassy, I can see why you two are kind of made for each other. You're a different kind of sass, but still, you guys are definitely compatible.
My mind was constructed based on Sarah, so her personality is rubbed off on me considerably.
Basically what I just said, yeah. Again, no wonder you like her.
When I come off as sassy or super laid back, that's all Sarah.
but the fact that you admit to her influence means you like her, don't you?
Alma calling his ass out.
No comment. You can draw your own conclusions.
He's pulling his cock out!
Well, I guess the best thing about growing up is that now I get to pat Sarah's head.
Oh, I bet she likes that. She'll pretend she doesn't, because she's tsundere, but she probably does like it.
Sarah hates it, so naturally, I eat it up.
Damn! There you go. Good shit. Oh, I forgot about this. I forget we get this beautiful music and background for episode 5. Oh, and this reminds me that I wanted to actually throw out a little prediction about this episode, being someone who has never seen it before. I think just based on the fact that this whole episode, like, we saw the trailer at the end of last stream, right? Pizza Maid came in, we talked to Pizza Maid Atlantis about it, all that stuff. Obviously, this whole episode has the theme of being, like, very medieval. Like, the whole thing is, like, this medieval era thing. Like, we talked to Henrietta, and her little world is, like, you know, well, it's very medieval, right? Like old fairy tale shit. And people using, like, horses and, you know, all that stuff. So my guess, based on that and the story context we have so far, that we're traveling in the Akashic records or something. We're basically inside of Shion's records of things that have happened in the universe. My guess, my most educated guess on what is going to happen on this episode is that this episode is basically going to be an origin story. I mean, again, this is also the fact that it's called... Oh shit, hold on, where do you see the episode list? Shit, you have to be outside of this. Well... yeah. Well, when you look at the episode list, episode 5 and 6 are under a category that says the Photoners, who we've already established through episodes 1 through 3, mostly at the end of episode 3, are basically the ancient people that kind of were here before arcs, essentially. They're the ones who basically created Dark Falls by accident because of their misuse of the photon manipulation abilities that Shion gave them. You know, she gave them that gift, like Prometheus giving the gift of fire, basically, that kind of thing. And then they misused it, they fucked everything up, and that's why Dark Falls is around now. So I'm guessing this whole thing, having this whole, like, past medieval vibe, kind of ties into the fact that we're exploring the origin story of Shion and the Photoners a little bit more now. And so that's what I think this whole episode's going to be about. It's going to be about, like, what happened in the ancient past that has had an impact and an influence on what's happening now in the present. So, like, whatever's going to happen with Henrietta and everyone else basically in that time period that we're traveling to for this episode is probably going to be, like, it's probably going to be used to explain why the profound darkness is what it is, yada yada, the stuff that's happening in the present. Something else that was kind of unfortunate that happened for me, that leads me to believe this sort of educated guess or prediction also, is the fact that when I was... This ties into how the stream started. This wasn't a complete, like, that wasn't complete vanity. The special scratch tickets I showed for the Super Fantasy Festival, which had the items that are... They're for NGS, they're NGS graphics and everything, but they're to commemorate this game, PSO2, the previous game, basically. I noticed one of the hairstyles, which is called N Shiva hairstyle, is the exact same hairstyle as Henrietta. And as soon as I caught that, I was like, oh no. Like, I was like, I think I just accidentally spoiled something for myself just by looking at this. But I didn't do it to myself, you know. Sega did it because, you know... it wasn't their intention, but the fact that they put it there and I happened to see it and I connected the dots, you know? So I saw that Shiva's hairstyle is exactly the same as Henrietta's. The only thing that's different is the hair ornament. It's just facing a different direction. It's like these two spikes going like this forward on Shiva, but it's literally the exact same hairstyle. So I was like, I just immediately went, oh shit. So is Henrietta gonna turn into a Dark Falls and that's Shiva? She's gonna turn into Shiva like as a Dark Falls or something? Like, that's my guess of what's gonna happen now, just based on the cosmetics that I saw in the special, the Fantasy Festival scratch tickets that I was working on to get Zara's outfit. Which the cape she was wearing is Shiva's cape as well, for those who noticed. So yeah, that's basically what I think is gonna happen. This episode 5 is probably just some kind of origin story for the Photoners and everything, and it's gonna, like, sort of tie things together to what's happening now and kind of probably give us some moments of like, oh, that's why that's happening. Oh, that's why this is happening. Yada yada. Anyway, that being said, we're probably not going to make a lot of main story progress today because this next scene opened up a shit ton of extra side quests, or I don't even know what to call them. Side quests, sub-story quests. It's neither really, but you'll see what I mean after you watch it. Look back at the records.
made sure to fudge things on my end this time. Guardian or not, regular medical exams are not optional. Is that clear, Matoy?
This is fitting. I just got a blood test. I think the blood test was a few days before this. I think I might have said something already. But yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if I did it, you gotta do it too, Matoy. Alright? Yeah, her outfit's really cool. That's why I got that for Sarah. I've always liked Matoy's outfit. I said that the moment I saw it. This outfit she has on, it's her best one.
This is no laughing matter. That goes for you, too. Just because you're a guardian, that doesn't mean the rules don't apply to you.
Hey, what the fuck? I told you I got a blood test. Get off my back, Zira.
You and the second are different guardians from Reggie and Mary. You have your own unique roles to play.
The second being the second Claire's craze, which is Matoy. Yes.
I wonder what happened that led to that point.
I have a feeling we're gonna find out.
Oh, that's easy. They've been fighting a grand battle against the fall spawn for a very long period of time. Of course, they started before I was born, so I haven't been watching them the whole time.
Hey, Sierra. Is there any way for us to look back at everywhere these two have been? I'd love to be able to see what happened on Arcs while I was gone. You know, just like you'd look over any other set of records.
I'm afraid that's not... Yes, there is a way.
What the fuck? Why is Zira so smug
There
about
is?
this? Matoy's like, wait, what?
Our friend here's experiences have been utterly invaluable, so of course I made a database out of them.
What? Surprise,
That
motherfucker.
said, I haven't had a chance to organize it, and I can't be sure of their veracity unless our friend is here to help me.
Then come on, let's reminisce about your past together. It'll keep our info in order, and we'd all love to know what you've been through up till now. So I really think there's no downside here.
And so right after this, because again, I saw this off stream by accident, I got a big tutorial that said you can now look back at old cutscenes, basically. All the way back to episode 1. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You can look back at like a lot of the major events from episode 1 all the way to here, basically, all the way to 3. Episode 4 is excluded. Episode 1 through, because let's face it, it was really just a filler episode, the Earth story. It was good, I liked it, but it definitely was a filler episode. So yeah, you can look back at stuff from episode 1 through 3 now, which is with Alma giving her commentary on what happened, essentially. And the quests that she can do this on are now marked. And that was what the tutorial told me, but we have to go back in order to see this. We have to go back to the episode list.
Hello there.
Look, if we go back to Oracle's... Look, episode 4 still just has, you know, the duel with Phalig, which, you know, I haven't even had a chance to practice that. I've been so busy. Episode 1. All of these previously completed quests are now half completed, because now we can watch the second half, quote unquote. They basically just added new content to them, which is Alma giving commentary on them, I assume. I haven't seen a single one because I obviously, you know, wasn't going to do that off stream. So we're going back to the beginning of the game now. An encounter with Shion. Literally one of the very first cutscenes. I think it is the very first cutscene after you finish the tutorial. Your current episode will change, the selected event will play. Stated lobby will change, you know, yeah, yada yada. Yeah, so we actually literally have to travel back in time. We have to actually switch episodes now. Go back to episode 1.
I have been expecting you.
Alright, so what's gonna happen this time?
No, there is a discrepancy in the perception of that phrase. Perhaps I am the one who has kept you waiting. My name is Shion. I am a being who is capable only of observation. I will not interfere with you, nor can I. However, the path you must take, the path you have yet to tread, is moldering. Therefore, I can merely set you upon it. I have calculated and predicted every potentiality, and will exhibit them here. Gather divergences and bring forth the inevitable. The divergence matrix will aid you in this task. I am a being
Nostalgic,
who is
isn't
only
it?
capable of observation. My role is not to guide you. Thus will the divergence matrix show you the way.
This does feel like a lifetime ago now.
I pray that the path born of my regret will serve as a beacon to guide you when a compass cannot. Forgive me. I droned on without comprehending how difficult it must be to grasp such vague sentiment. I will restructure my thoughts and state them again. Now, hear my request. I bid you go to Navarius. I will not say the reason. I cannot. The answer exists only in your future. I am solely an observer. I can do nothing but observe.
It's kind of a form of guidance just to tell me to go there, though.
I see. So this is when you and Shion met.
Okay, here we go.
As usual, I couldn't understand a word she said, but I guess she's making more sense now than back when I was alive. I used to chat with her a lot through my cosmogenic arm. She always seemed so mournful, so full of regret.
She feels responsible for Dark Falls and everything else, yeah.
Thinking back on it now, maybe she was trying to apologize to me, since she could see the future and knew what would happen to me.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I think she was able to see your future too, back when she talked to you. That's why she gave you the divergence matrix to guide you, and that's also why she sent you to Navarius. She was trying to accomplish something. I'm sure that something has to do with the regret I sensed, but right now, who can say?
Well, I guess we'll find out. Seeking to change history. Wait, so once you do this, though... is that going to happen every time, or is that a one-time thing? Like, can Alma comment on this again, or is this the only chance we get to hear this, basically? Because I checked with Zara, and I realized that your story progress for this game is synced across all your characters, across all servers, your entire account, basically, whether you like it or not. So starting a new game is not actually possible, even on a new character. All the quests that you've completed will remain completed. If you actually want a fresh playthrough of this, you have to make a whole nother account.
There is a discrepancy in the perception.
Use a different Steam account, PlayStation
Perhaps
account, Xbox account, whatever.
My name
Let me skip through this.
I am a being. However, therefore, I gather divergence. I am a being. I pray that the... Forgive me. I droned on. I will restructure. I bid you go. I will not say. I am solely...
Yeah, she does.
As usual, I couldn't... I used to chat with her a lot through my... Thinking back on it, I think she
I
was...
can't even skip
that's why
this. I have to
she was
literally go to
trying
the...
I'm sure that's some...
What was that prompt I got? I don't know. When I was mashing circle, I got a prompt, but it only popped up once. Okay, so now what happens if you switch back to episode 5?
Which quest are you up for?
It doesn't add anything to episode Alma. Okay. Oof. So if I ever want to replay PSO2 kind of like as a fresh playthrough, I'll probably have to use like an alternate account then. I'll probably have to make like a dummy Steam account just to do it. Good thing the game's free to play. Thank God. Because I just realized that now if I ever play like with an alternate character or something like that, it's like it's gonna be forced. It's gonna be a forced New Game Plus kind of playthrough basically, whether you like it or not. Because it's like, even on a different character, if we ever rewatch any of these scenes, these older scenes, Alma's gonna cut in with the fucking commentary at the end no matter what. You can't disable that. Which is kind of, you know, it kind of fucks with the flow a little bit. Especially because I just showed you can't even skip it. You can skip through the text boxes, but you can't just skip the scene entirely. At all. I tried. So that's kind of rough. I gotta say, it's kind of rough. Don't like the way they designed that, but can't do anything about it.
I must express my gratitude to you.
Okay, this one's seeking to change history. Still episode 1, I believe.
You identified the best divergence of potentiality and forged a path to novel circumstances. At present, I have not yet fully studied the words required to gain your consent. Therefore, I must apologize that I continue to fall short of earning your trust. And I apologize for relying on you despite this. A new divergence matrix has been born. This signifies that it is possible to intervene in new potentialities. My regret endures. I pray that you will be the one to absolve me of it.
I see. So Xi'an's goal was for you to rescue the second, who'd collapsed on Navarius. That's why she turned back time to your certification mission. Good job finding her on your first try.
Alright, at least she's explaining to us what was actually happening back then. Because back then, the dates were just kind of jumping around while we were doing missions, and the game didn't really explain why. We're finally getting the explanation for it. Somebody did say, I think it was PizzaMate or somebody else, said there's a reason the dates were jumping around. It might have been Alucard, actually. Yeah, they told me there's a reason the dates jump around. I guess this is it. Like, eventually they were going to explain to us what the fuck was happening. And so Alma's telling us now that Xion did, in fact, turn back time to our certification mission. And we basically redid it, you know, with Often next to us. The certification mission is the tutorial mission, for those who don't remember. So she turned back time, so we redid the tutorial mission, but we ran into Persona the Masked, my future self, and then, you know, Matoi shortly afterwards, because Persona was trying to stop me from finding Matoi. I'll be honest, and I even hinted at it when we first saw that way back then in like part 1 of this, the PSO2 playthrough. As soon as I saw Persona the Masked and they said that they had to stop me desperately from doing what I was gonna do, I immediately thought to myself, oh, is this guy like me from the future? Like, I might not have said it out loud, but I was just like, some of these, you see these kind of tropes in other media if you've watched enough or played enough video games and watched other movies. Like, it was kind of predictable, you know what I mean? I was like, is this me from the future or some other guy, you know, coming to stop me from doing something I shouldn't, basically? And that's exactly what it ended up being. Like, but you don't find out until, like, you know, episode 3 or whatever. I think it was, right? Episode 2 or 3 where Persona reveals that he's basically you from the future, your character. So, but I kind of saw that coming, like, the moment we saw him and he said that shit. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this guy's like me from the future or somebody else from the future trying to stop me from making some big mistake. And that is exactly what it was. But going back to this, yeah, I was very confused when we ended up doing the certification mission with Often. And then the first cutscene after talking to Xion was literally doing it again. But we run into Persona and fight him. Me and Often fought the guy, and then we found Matoi shortly afterwards. I was like, wait, what the hell's happening? Why are we seeing an alternate version? This didn't happen during the first playthrough of the tutorial mission. Why is this happening now? Like, what the hell's going on? Finally, we're getting the explanation for it. Like, so many parts later. So many episodes later, you know? Okay, so Alma says that's why she turned back time to your certification mission. Good job finding it on your first try.
The divergence matrix displays possible divergences. It's about as outrageous as my power to stop time.
That makes sense.
Cassie would probably call it magic. Well, maybe it's not quite on that level. Anyway, even if you can go to the past, changing history isn't easy. Time automatically corrects itself. For example, Even if you changed history to stop Luther from killing me, I'd probably still die somewhere. That's how it usually works.
Like some Final Destination shit or something. Actually, I don't know. I don't actually know how the mechanics... Like, I thought that was just kind of, you know, a horror movie and that was it. But somebody hinted at the fact that there was apparently a pattern to it. Like, I gotta rewatch those movies to figure it out. But there was apparently some kind of pattern for how it worked. For why certain people were targeted when they were targeted to be killed, basically. They would just die in some unfortunate accident, basically. But there was a reason for it. It was like some kind of weird supernatural game that was happening. I gotta watch those movies just to, you know, to find out.
But Shion can see the results of your revisions too, so she knows exactly what to change.
Oh, yeah, she could see what I was gonna, yeah.
Then she tells you, and you change it. That's what the Divergence Matrix is for. It's like a guidepost to creating a new future.
Others.
You're going to change events to help her reach the future she's calculated. Shion wouldn't be able to do it alone, and neither would you. It's something you can only do together. Of course, there's no guarantee that you'd succeed in diverging history, even if you followed Shion's guidance. I wonder if she was secretly turning back time and repeating your adventures until you managed to create a divergence.
We would have no way of knowing, would we? A new divergence matrix.
In all things, infinite choice is but an illusion. It is necessary to ascertain and accept what follows your actions. A new divergence matrix has been born. Events are awakening to new potentialities, and your path, though long, is solidifying. Your actions will determine the future. That is all I am capable of expressing. I apologize for my circuitous phrasing.
Falsepawn really are terrible. Even if you destroy their bodies, the remaining F factor corrupts living beings and machines. Honestly, how could anyone create such monstrosities? If the photons inside us didn't neutralize the F factor, we'd be corrupted in the blink of an eye too. That's why non-arcs can't fight them. You can't fight Falsepawn without the ability to control photons. Reggie, Mary, and I are particularly good at it, but you're on a whole other level.
Oh, well, thanks.
Absorbing and purifying the F factor inside the frenzied Draconians. That's beyond me.
You know what I just noticed? Every time I look at her eyes and her face, she reminds me of, like, the stereotypical anime cat girl. And then I look at her hair and I'm like, I think that's what they were going for. It's like they made her a cat girl without actually making her a cat girl. Because her ears, you know, are sort of... They give off the silhouette of cat ears. Or her hair, I should say. See, I even called them that. Her hair is set up to give off the silhouette of having cat ears on her head, basically, even though she doesn't. And then something about the way they made her eyes. It's everything. It's like the overall facial structure, but mostly the eyes. It gives off that vibe.
Honestly, it's a terrifying ability. But that's probably one of the reasons why Shion chose you.
She thought I could use it responsibly?
Thanks to you, the frenzied Draconians returned to normal. And a link was formed between Arcs and the Draconians, creating a new future. I'm not sure yet how this will alter the course of history, but I am sure this was necessary to achieve Shion's goal.
Signs of improvement.
A new divergence matrix has been born. This positive turn of events exhibits the significance of your actions. profess 1,000 gratitudes. We comprehend that this is no straightforward path, and yet I relied on you nonetheless. The one who repaid that trust is you. Your will answered. That is why I am grateful. And I hope you will pardon me for needing to depend on you time and time again.
Lilypaw and the Lilypans, I don't think that planet has been discovered yet during my time. It seems the civilization that was originally on Lilypaw was destroyed, and the Lilypans are the survivors. No, but I so desperately want to pet one. It's too bad that I don't have a body. All joking aside, now you've formed relationships with not only the Draconians, but with the Lilypans as well. Although it doesn't seem like you can communicate verbally, I'm sure that Fourier girl will figure something out. Now then, next up is another recording from Nefarious, it would seem.
I like the way she narrates these as if they were happening in real time. But she says, I'm sure that Fourier will figure a way out, like, even though we're talking about things that already happened in the past, she gives her commentary as if it's happening right now, basically. I think that's kind of neat. It definitely makes it easier to bear with that, essentially, on like a New Game Plus playthrough, replaying it on a different character, or even on the same character. The fact that she kind of talks about it that way, that is kind of nice. I still wish you could just turn the feature off, though, but there seems to be no option for that. The path you must trod, not tread.
A new divergence matrix has been born. A reality that was possible precisely because you arrived at the path you were supposed to. You will bear witness to many things both hereafter and henceforth. Previously as well.
What's the difference between hereafter and henceforth?
However, you must not avert your eyes. You must learn the truth and arrive at a solution. That is something only you are allowed to do. At this time, I can say nothing, because there is no meaning in saying anything more. I only ask for your faith.
Things are really starting to heat up, eh? And what's most puzzling is that broken weapon. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but why is it broken? Oh, sorry, I digress. It seems like Shion's goal is to collect the fragments of that weapon. And that masked person is looking for the very same fragments. But thanks to Shion's guidance, you stopped them. Originally, it was fated to be collected by that masked person from where it slept in the tundra, but you got it instead, changing the future. What meaning does that hold? At this point, I'm sure only Shion knows. She should have just explained everything from the start. Oh no, I guess she couldn't.
If she did, I would have taken different actions yeah. She literally couldn't tell me, so that I would stay on the path.
She knew if she told you, you'd fail.
Exactly.
And so she couldn't say anything. It was probably something like that.
Yeah. If she told me, I would have done things differently, and then it wouldn't have resulted in the outcome she wanted. Yeah. It's basically a form of manipulation if you want to think about it that way, yeah. Obviously, she justifies it as being the greater good and all that, but it still is what it is. When you're, you know, they call it deceit, right? When you're occulting information, I suppose. You're withholding information to get somebody to act a certain way. You're manipulating them, because you know if you tell them some information you have that they don't, that they'll act differently, you know? Shit, there was something else I was gonna say. I forgot it though. Not related to what I just said. There was something else I was gonna comment while she was giving her commentary, but I completely forgot what it was. Maybe I'll remember as we watch this next scene. To find, you must seek.
A new divergence matrix has sprung forth. The balance tips. The path is laid bare. I and we desire you to seek and obtain. I and we trust that you will accomplish this.
I see. Before,
I remembered.
it didn't seem like anything was connected, but Shion's instructions are starting to come together now.
So that staticky thing right before, when Shion finished talking and did that little static, and we, you know, came to this scene. See, that kind of makes more sense because it's basically like we were watching it on this screen, like we see here, basically, with Alma the whole time. Even my first playthrough through the game, it's like we were just watching back at records of things that had already happened. So what I was gonna comment real quick before we started this one, but I couldn't remember, was just that this probably served as a very nice way of recapping the story for people who had been keeping up with the story as it came out. You know, basically people playing on the JP servers, because the game launched in 2012, right? Back then, and it didn't end until like 2020 or so, something like that. So yeah, this was probably, considering how slowly the episodes were released over such a long period of time, this was probably a nice way to recap the early stuff, the stuff from episodes 1 through 3. For those who were playing episode 5 as it came out, this was a nice refresher, basically. The way Alma talked about it and everything. For someone like me who's just, you know, only barely started playing and I have full access, I've had full access to the entire story, episode 1 through 6, right from the, and I've just been going, you know, through the whole thing back to back to back. It's obviously kind of like, I still kind of remember, most of this is pretty fresh in my mind. Most of it. But for someone who maybe hadn't replayed the story in a long time, this is a really nice way to re-experience it with Alma's commentary. That's what I wanted to say that I forgot last time. Okay, so Alma says, I see before it didn't seem like anything was connected, but Shion's instructions are starting to come together now.
She was guiding you to collect the fragments of that broken weapon,
Yeah.
She made Fourier into a mediator for the lily pan so that you could get this fragment. Which means the link forged with the Draconians must have been for a similar purpose. And next up is... See? It's Amduskia!
Progress. The path with the answers to everything.
A new divergence matrix has been born. Redress the balance and uncover an answer.
Oh, for those who are wondering why I said the JP servers, it's because this game didn't get a Western release until literally 2020, when NGS was already right around the corner. But most, like, Westerners didn't even get to experience, unless they played on the JP servers, making a JP account, which also required faking their IP address and doing a bunch of workarounds. Unless you did that as a Westerner, you didn't get to experience PSO2 until literally like 5 years ago. It didn't come out until 2020. Right in the heart of the pandemic, I believe. And then NGS just basically, from what I heard, they kind of rushed. They released it with just like episode 1 at the beginning, but they rushed through the updates. They basically did the same content path from 2012 all the way to 2020 on the JP servers, but they did it in like record time. So they just went back to back to back on the Western release. They went episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like it all just came out super fast, so that the game would be full and complete, so equal to the JP servers before NGS launched globally for everyone, basically at the same time. They wanted to get the Westerners caught up, basically, with the classic PSO2 game, the one we're playing right now, right before NGS came out. So within 1 or 2 years, the Western release, PSO2 Global, I think it's called, The non-JP release, we'll just say that. The non-JP servers got caught up on PSO2 like super fast. The updates just came out one after the other within like a month or two from each other. They just released episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they were like, there, it's done. And now NGS is right around the corner in just a few months, and then that launched and everybody got to play it at the same time. That's what I heard. I haven't verified this yet. That's what I heard they did. So yeah, for everybody who didn't play on the JP servers, they pretty much got a similar experience as me that I'm getting right now, where you just got to play through the whole story without really having to pause too much and wait too long for the next episode, basically. Okay, so Shion says a new divergence matrix has been born. Redress the balance and uncover an answer.
No matter what trials await you, your discoveries will eventually bear fruit. It will take the form it is meant to take. Therefore, I urge you to press forward single-mindedly without hesitation. I trust that this will be the path that leads you to the answer at the root of all things.
Now you've recovered the fragment on Amduskia too. Finally, you have them all. Even if you had guidance, walking around 3 planets must have been exhausting. But there was plenty good reason to do it. Now all that's left is to fix the weapon, and then everything will come together. I guess. I'm concerned about the second, too. She has amnesia, and yet she's clearly reacting to the fragments of the weapon. Shion's guidance led you to both save the second and recover the weapon fragments. Considering the way the second has been acting, I think I know what's going to happen. If those weapon fragments are what I think they are, then you're in for quite a show.
Yeah, I really like how she's giving her commentary as if it's all happening right now. In between fact and truth.
A new divergence matrix has been born. It straddles the precipice of reality and truth.
I think the fact that she's narrating or she's commenting the way she is will actually kind of make it not too bad to re-experience it on Zera when we do our second playthrough of this game.
I and we trust in your fulfillment, in the conclusion you will reach. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you have accomplished and what you should achieve.
Huh? Talk about a plot twist! The fixed weapon was stolen! That's strange. I thought the fixed weapon would be returned to the second, and she'd get her memories back, solving everything.
I love this. It's like she's rewatching our whole adventure and going like, ooh, what's gonna happen next?
And it would seem that Oak Girl got caught up in the false spawn assault and died too.
Oh my god, this brings back memories. Yeah.
Was that all part of Shion's plan? Maybe there's some reason why that had to happen. Still, prospects are grim. I can't see a happy ending coming from this. Mark my words, someone's going to get hurt.
Yes. He's gonna let the evil flow through him and turn into a Dumon for some reason. Yeah, when Theodore, that was the guy, yeah, that was the guy who liked Ulk. He falls into the pits of despair when he finds out she died. A gain and a loss.
Events have changed drastically. This is one realization of what you have accomplished, even if it takes on an undesired form. The universe will come to fruition through your experiences. This is not revision, but based on that accumulation, it will bear many friends and enemies. Even so, you must press forward, following your own will down a path that no one else could track.
More than 40 years ago now, Reggie, Mary, and I fought Darkfall's Elder. Considering the outcome, you could say that Arcs won. We got pretty beat up, but Arcs won. Elder's power was outrageous. After all, he was strong enough to change Navarius' geography and create a tundra. It was impossible to destroy him, so we sealed him away instead. We bound him to the land of Navarius. I used my cosmogenic arm, Clarissa the White, to do it. That same weapon that you repaired. We sealed Elder away, using Clarissa as a key. We told everyone that we defeated him. We had a lot of reasons for what we did, and were hailed as the trio of heroes, and we thought it fine to accept the honorific. We thought that if the bluff could lend some hope to the ongoing fight against the Falsepawn, then it was a useful white lie. We believed that someday in the future we would forge, someone would find a way to completely defeat a Dark Falls. But we never thought that the seal would be released just a few decades later. And it wouldn't be exaggerating to say that it was Xian's guidance that caused the seal to be undone. Whatever Xian wanted to accomplish must have been important enough to risk reviving Elder. What was she trying to do? We'll
Let's
just
find
have to
out.
watch the next recording.
Yeah, I was like, you'll find out. Again, now it makes a lot more sense why some of these scenes start with that little static. I thought that was weird ever since we started the game. This effect right here.
The new
That-
flow has become a diverging stream. However, it is a model that will affect even the main river. It is up to you to decide whether to call what lies there a tragedy or a release. No matter what form the ending takes, if it is your experience, then I am unconcerned.
That place where you and Sina were forced to go.
Yeah.
That was an Ark ship. It was destroyed and corrupted by Falsepawn, and then it became a Falsepawn nest. And what's more, it also seems to have been used as a test site to create replicas of Ark's operatives who had been kidnapped. Gemini has the power to create copies, but Gemini wouldn't require a massive facility like that.
No.
Elder was there, so were they his puppets? No. Based on what he said, some other Dark Falls was responsible. Speaking of other Dark Falls, Apprentice is of some concern. Is she really the sister Afen has been searching for all this time? A Dark Falls vessel. They gain extraordinary power while also being influenced by the person serving as the vessel. And there aren't any records of a vessel being returned to normal after becoming a Dark Falls. It's never happened. Not once. It's
Really?
unfortunate. But I don't really foresee any positive outcome for Sina or Afen.
Why I entrust all to you. Wonder what she'll comment when she sees what we actually did to save Sina.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you about the various events
toy
that
too.
seem to be occurring around a focal point.
According to my analysis, she should be around here. Can you hear me, Xian? At last, my knowledge has brought me this far. I suppose it's too early for me to see you yet. I want to understand you, but it seems I'm not capable of that yet. I don't wish to put you in a foul mood, So I'll take my leave now. What do you think? Did she hear me? I must express my gratitude to you as well. It's thanks to you that I've been better able to understand her. I still don't know why she's doing what she's doing, but I look forward to the day when everything becomes clear. My name is Luther. I'm the director of the Void apparatus, which you all call the laboratory. May we meet again.
He cannot see me. Even my voice cannot reach him. However, he is aware of me. It is because of him that I have entrusted everything to you. I must sever all ties with him. However, it is also my existence that twisted him to begin with. I regret the inquisitiveness that caused all this, and that I must burden you.
So that's Luther, the leader of the Photoners.
Strictly speaking, he's the only person now who can truly be called a Photoner. But yes, you are correct. The other researchers simply call themselves that because they wish to be Photoners. First, Elder is released, and now the artificial Draconian is gone. That put enough of a wrench in his plans to make him appear. Though to think the first person he'd interact with would be that person, it cannot just be coincidence.
I don't care about that. I just want revenge on the person who screwed with Hadrids in my lives.
Bloodthirsty Kuna,
our
back in the
friend
day.
here is the key. You understand that, don't you?
I'm gonna do this my way. I have no intention of making friendly with you, Khasra of the Council of Six. Or should I say, of the trio of heroes. Anyway, I assume you understand.
Yes, I do, Kuna. Once this is all over, you may do with me as you wish. That was our agreement, and considering the risks you're taking, I mean to keep that promise.
I hate that I accept everything, face of yours. What are you even after?
As of this moment, the same thing you are after.
Well...
I'll follow you no longer. Luther, you're the one person I...
That was Luther? No way! He looks more evil now. But that was Cassie, the first Khasra.
Oh, he didn't always look like that, huh?
Oh no, I understand now. He took over Cassie's body. That's just what I would expect of Luther. As much as I hate it, I know Luther well. After all, he's the reason I'm like this. Arx was really falling to pieces after the fight with Elder 40 years ago. So many died. Enough that we couldn't maintain our organization. We needed Luther's technology to rebuild Arx, regardless of how inhumane that was.
Damn.
But having Luther manipulate Arx as he wished was more terrifying than seeing it destroyed. So I bargained with him. In exchange for offering myself up as a test subject, he'd use his research results to rebuild Arx. My original body was very weak. I knew I probably wouldn't have lived much longer anyway. I thought I'd offer myself for everyone's sake, and Luther accepted. As a result, the second generation of Arx was born with the ability to manipulate photons, and Arx regained its power and standing. But I see. So Shion's goal involves Luther. I guess that makes a lot of sense. I kept a close eye on him while I was alive, but I couldn't do that after dying. Seems I put everyone in a tough position. I suppose this isn't the time to be getting depressed. What happens next is most crucial. I have to watch and accept what comes.
Episode 2. We're done with episode 1. The key to the future.
You're finally here.
Yeah, sorry, didn't mean to alarm you.
Back when Motoi looked like this.
You've just had a real serious look on your face lately, and it was worrying me.
Her first outfit we saw her in.
Wait, who's that?
You can see her?
Should I not be able to see them?
I don't mind that she can see me. She's nothing like Luther. She has a connection to me, like you. So of course she can see me. It's only natural.
Man, it's hard to put into words. But even though I've never met you before, there's something very familiar about you.
You said the same thing about Al in episode 4.
Best not to dwell on it for now. When the time comes, you'll come to understand everything.
Oh? I guess if you say so, it must be so. Okay.
You believe in me once more? Or rather, did you never stop in the first place?
Now that makes a lot more sense. Knowing what happened in Motoi 10 years ago this time.
Sure, I believe in you. After all, it's someone you believe in.
It's someone Leon believes in. She
I
sounds so naive
appreciate it.
saying that, but
Everything you did back then,
at least she trusts me, really.
saving her. The only reason we're alive now is because of what you did.
She's referencing the events from 10 years ago.
Your deeds gave us a future. All that's left is the cosmogenic arms. But more important than that, I must express my thanks to you for saving her.
It's odd. It feels like she's there, but feels like she's not. But she has a warm feeling about her, like when I first met you. I'm sure things have been hard on you so far, and you've even harder things to face ahead. But no matter what happens, always know that I believe in you, and that I'll always be with you.
The new planet we discovered, Wopal, seems to have a great deal of water. That's pretty and all, but something seems unusual about it. The enemies and natives of the planet are all pretty weird. The weather, everything about the planet seems almost artificial. The natives of the planet can even speak to us without translation. There's gotta be a reason for all of it. It feels so suspect.
Ella Sauce!
And speaking of suspect, there's Luther, tricking people and
Super
using
sus.
them in his schemes as one would expect. It's really annoying that this is just a playback of records. I wish I could go pound on him myself.
Go get him, Mama!
You bastard! Fuck!
It almost feels like all this stuff with Theodore is happening to me. I I wonder how it will all turn out. Shion could butt in, but she just made contact with the second. Anyway, how could the second recognize Shion at that time? Do you think they'd already made a connection? That's one more strange thing going on. I guess that makes these worth watching. Let's check the next record.
The way forward opens up.
Enough of this charade now, Shion. Such futile endeavors are beneath you. Oracle and Arcs are all in the palm of my hand, and soon, you shall join them.
Nothing in this universe is futile. These people convinced me of that. And it is from there we began.
Very well. Struggle all you like. A few twists and turns in our story will make things all the more interesting. I will enjoy watching it all play out. Such is the pleasure and privilege of those unburdened by fleeting mortality. Such is our right. And you, I've heard so much about all of the things you've gotten up to. Do as you like. I won't impede you. Make things interesting for me. When you live forever, you need a little bit of stimulation. Wouldn't you all agree?
I'll find out when I get there, I guess. However long it takes to get to that point.
His humanity, but he has not forgotten what it is to be mortal.
Because of what he said, when you live forever, you need some stimulation. But how long has he been alive? 'Cause if you live forever, you can't technically say at the end, there is no end, right? If you live forever, there's no end. So, how long before you get bored enough that you feel like you need stimulation? I don't know. As I said, I'll find out when I get there, whenever that is. However long it takes to get bored of being alive.
He is enjoying this entirely too much. Because he was once mortal, he fears boredom above all else. That is his strength, but also his weakness. Something to take advantage of.
It makes me think that if we are able to live forever someday, would we eventually have to cast off some of our humanity to be able to survive it, so to speak? Psychologically, I mean. I suppose if we become cyborgs or robots, then that'll probably happen on its own, though, right? We'll be able to just shut off emotions like boredom, so that we don't suddenly get nihilistic and suicidal because we're bored of being alive after being around for like thousands of years, right? An interesting thing to ponder about.
Were it up to me, that is what I would do. We also think the same way. Therefore, we are not mistaken.
So that's more of a conversation to have at the end of Endwalker and FF14 rather than here, but still, it kind of tied in a little bit. The whole being bored of being alive for so long. Would that really happen? Would we really get bored if we could live longer than 120 years? Suppose it also depends on what's happening, but yeah. I don't know. I think that's just an assumption we make. Because of the fact that we can't live past that age yet. Maybe we tell ourselves that to be more comfortable with the idea of inevitable death, right? Or coping. Maybe that's our copium is basically what I'm getting at. Telling ourselves it'd be boring to live that long. We only say that because we can't. Again, only one way to find out though. If we're able to break past that threshold, we'll know for sure if it does get boring or not.
You must keep the faith and move forward. The path you seek will come. A new path, desired by all.
Xiao has finally bust onto the scene. Huh. I see. So that was how you met. In that case, then that'll probably end up that way. And, maybe that's what will happen. Oh, sorry.
He's speculating.
When I was young and sickly, I used to stay in bed and read a lot of books. I always really enjoyed imagining what was going to happen.
I mean, that's part of what makes it fun for some people, you know? I like to just enjoy the ride, but sometimes I do indulge in speculation as well. I mean, I did it earlier, didn't I? I said this whole episode's probably going to be a whole origin story about the Photoners and why everything that's happening now is happening the way it is, and yada yada. I guess, you know, I didn't really clarify what I really meant to say or imply. What I meant to imply when I said my, you know, quote-unquote prediction earlier in the stream, an hour and a half ago now, but was that it's probably going to end up like some kind of time loop, is what I'm getting at, because, I mean, we've already experienced that. You know, and almost every time there's time travel in anything, it always ends up as a time loop of some kind, and we've already experienced it in this story as well. Why wouldn't they do it again, right? Like, it's gonna. What I'm saying is that our interference in the past in the Akashic records is literally what leads to the present being the way it is, basically. Even though our characters are probably gonna want to prevent whatever the hell's gonna happen, but they're gonna end up causing it inadvertently. And again, thinking back to what I said about Henrietta and Shiva having the same exact hairstyle, it makes me think more so in that direction. Like, something's probably gonna happen to her, we're gonna try to save her, and we're gonna fail horribly, and she's gonna turn into, like, Shiva, which is some kind of Dark Falls or something. I don't know. Anyway, Alma says, when I was young and sickly, I used to stay in bed and read a lot of books. I always really enjoyed imagining what was gonna happen. Okay.
That's why I'm so curious about why Xion created Xiao and had you two meet when you did. From here on out, you'll be borrowing Xiao's power to put an end to Luther's plot. I wonder if everything leading to this was inevitable. Elder managed to revive, Theodore is still being used, and Luther keeps closing in on Xion. Maybe Luther would have suspected something if any one of those conditions weren't met. It was probably a future Xion only arrived at after seeing failure after failure. Any shortcuts and it all would have fallen apart. Elder was allowed to revive, and Zeno was rescued. That's one thing Luther doesn't know. Add it all up, and it connects to Xion's plan for the distant future. They're lining up all the pieces for that purpose. This must be how it starts. In fact, I think everything you've done has moved things forward. Sarah trusts you now after all you've done, and you've even got Mary helping you out. How is it all gonna come together? Let's watch the next recording.
She's all anxious. I want to see what happens next. Foolish entity and foolish person. Entity and person being in quotes.
Let me tell you a tale of a time long past. A tale of a foolish entity and of a foolish person. It all began when the entity, a being possessed of boundless knowledge, met the person, a being possessed of boundless fascination. The entity gave the person knowledge and wisdom as the person desired. This was trivial information to the entity, but to the person, it became the foundation of their very evolution.
She's basically describing, yeah, the origin story. Her being the entity and a photoner being the person, yeah.
The person ignited the entity's curiosity. Though the entity was all-knowing, it could not understand the person's heart, and so it was captivated. Thus did the entity and the person come to live side by side. the other desired, and lived in prosperity for ages upon ages. The person was avaricious, yet indolent. They put forth every effort for the sake of comfort and ease. They used every ounce of knowledge. The entity was entertained by this unique course of action, but in its amusement, it made a grave error. Though the entity knew that the fruits of such indolence would bring forth destruction, it did not tell the person. Because it desired to see how the person would be changed by what sprang forth. The foolish one was not the person. It was the one who knew the risks, yet did not convey them. The foolish one was I.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was kind of your bit of your fuck up. Yeah, you should have told him.
Do not fret for me. I am glad that we met. It is an event that is irreplaceable to me. If it had not happened, I could not talk to you as I am now. This place would not even exist.
In the end, she feels that it was worth it, yeah.
People have told me that not knowing the future is what makes it exciting. As I am now, I agree.
Even I said that to Luther when he said he didn't want to live in a world without omniscience or whatever. It's true, it's exciting, but it's also scary. It's both in one.
Yes, I was totally right. I thought someone was meddling on Wolpal, and of course it was Luther. He acts like he owns the whole universe, messing around with whatever he wants. My prediction was right on the money, as infuriating as it is. Theodore's another one of his victims, too. To change your entire race after the fact. It's like, that's such an insane change to make.
Yeah, how did that even happen? They never explained exactly how he race changed and why he couldn't go back even when he wanted to.
Just when it seemed Luther was going to have his way, you worked hard and managed to get the key to saving Theodore.
Girl.
If everything up until now has come from Shion's guidance, then you know what's up next.
God damn, I forgot Ulk's tits were enormous.
He's pulling his cock out!
No matter how prepared you are, none of that is going to be easy. I'm sure that some of it will even be painful.
Yeah, it was.
But now that I've come this far, I just have to watch the rest.
Oh, I forgot. Well, I thought she would say something about it, but hold on.
Okay, next up's the history created by Shion's final divergence matrix.
I thought Alma was going to comment on it.
We have confirmed the presence of Dark Fall's apprentice on Lilypaw. All ArcSops, prepare to engage.
Oh, I was going to have to grab something anyway, so that's a perfect point to do this. I was going to comment. I thought Alma was going to say something, but like what Shion said, I guess, you know, I guess it applies to both situations where, like I said, it kind of seems to apply to when she first gave photoners like the knowledge that she has to manipulate photons and all that stuff. But it's also heavily implied that she's talking about us, the main character. That when she gave us something without telling us the consequences of what was going to happen based on what we had and all that stuff, right? Everything that just happened in that scene before Alma cut in with her commentary afterwards. I thought Alma was going to say something about that, but she didn't. Yeah, she focused on everything else that was happening in the story at that time instead. Anyway, give me 1 second. I just muted the game because of the fucking announcement. Jesus. As we saw earlier in the stream, even in NGS it happens, you know? The announcement is way shorter, but it still cuts in while you're trying to, you know, do shit. But anyway, give me 1 second. Unmute this. Not leaving the room. I'm right here. I just gotta grab something from across the way. Alright. We're good to go. Water. Gotta have it, man. Alright, now we can continue. Mysteries remain. After the whole fight with Luther and everything.
I have long awaited your arrival.
I think.
What do you think of my Shion impression? Totally captured the vibe, right?
You did your best, I guess. Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm technically a copy of her, so it wouldn't be that weird if I had ended up exactly like her. But I think Shion did enough of the whole mysterious and dignified act for the both of us. I'd rather talk like, you know, a real person.
You kind of throwing shade at her, man.
Anywho,
I might have said this back then,
let's
too.
get right to why I called you here. There's something I wanted to tell you directly.
Oh yeah? What's that?
It's about... well, it's about Matoi. If I'm being quite honest with you, I'm not sure who or what she really is. We have no data on her. Surely you know as well as I do that someone with her insanely high level of skill sticks out like a sore thumb, right?
Yeah.
And I don't just mean in the ARC's database. She's not even in Shion's records. It's like someone deliberately edited her out. Now, if it had been Luther, that much I could understand. But even he didn't seem to know about her. And if it wasn't him, I can think of only one other possible suspect. It had to have been Shion. They must have erased all record of Matoi. And it's not just Matoi that got wiped. Shion seems to have deleted all records beyond about, 10 or so years ago. Not just physical records either. Nobody in ARC seems to have any clear memories from then anymore either. This isn't the sort of data we can just salvage or trace back either. It's vanished straight out of existence. Bloop, gone. Something important had to have happened then 10 years ago. But we can't revisit memories that no longer exist. What we need to do is go back directly and see it all for ourselves. You are more than capable of that. And this isn't just to sate my own curiosity either. Shion is no longer with us, and Luther has fallen. ARCS is taking its first steps forward into a brand new era. What that means is that I now need to maintain both the control Luther held and the calculations that Shion ran all by myself. That's why, if I want to ensure the safety and stability of this newborn ARCS, I need to know as much as possible about what happened. That includes even things I might not want to know the truth about. That said, I won't pretend I'm not curious about it all. I'd quite like to see what happened before I ever even existed. Right then. Idle hands never accomplished anything, so let's get to work.
So yeah, this is after we defeated Luther.
If we just head back to the time that has been wiped clean from history itself, we should learn a thing or two. This will be a lot like the sort of time travel you've done already. You've been through so much already that I'm sure this trip will be just another drop in the bucket of your wildlife experiences. Shion might have even known I'd try to do this. Maybe that's why they chose you in the first place, you know? I'll be on backup duty. You just head to the target location. Let's find out what truly happened.
I think what Shion really wanted was to free ARCS from Luther's clutches and give them a future.
Ah, yes. I vividly remember seeing Shion like that. One of my favorite memories of her.
He's pulling his card out!
You bastard! Son of a...
Took lots of photos that day. Almost says, I think what Shion really wanted was to free Arcs from Luther's clutches and give them a future. That seemed to be part of it, but this whole thing that just started with Matoi that Xiao was just talking about means that wasn't her only goal.
Shion must have tried and failed countless times, always reanalyzing and recalculating, until we finally arrived where we are today. I'm sad that we had to lose Shion, but assuming that all of this was accounted for, then I suppose it's something we just have to accept. Thanks to them, Arcs finally broke away from Luther. But this still leaves plenty of questions unanswered. Shion erased all record of Oracle itself to hide our little predecessor from Luther. That was 10... No, I suppose it would have been 13 years ago now. Only Shion, someone with direct access to the Akashic records themselves, could have pulled something like that off. But that might be where they went too far. Shion was an observer, not one who should directly meddle with the universe's affairs. Why did Shion go against the very purpose of their own existence just for our little friend there? What was going through Shion's mind? If we want answers, we're just gonna have to look to the past to find out.
Shion's apology and regrets.
Listen, I know what you must be thinking.
Oh yeah?
You want to go back to 10 years ago and see what happened, right?
Yes.
I had the same idea, but it looks like that might be out of the question. We're being completely blocked from intervening in the time frame after the second disappeared. Shion's doing, I'm sure. Shion made us forget, but won't let us go back and change anything. Pretty unreasonable, but she did always tend towards the extreme. That being said, it seems there are those who retain some of their memories. We should talk to them to try and figure things out.
So that's why Shion was trying to hide the second.
Yeah.
If you created a being that almost turned into the new profound darkness, you'd want to keep that under wraps too. With the knowledge Shion granted them, the Photoners went on to fiddle with life itself, the legacy of which was the profound darkness. To negate this future, Shion created the second Claris craze. But that creation too almost succumbed to the profound darkness.
Yeah. Almost like because she was a complete opposite, she was so pure. That was... Like, it's kind of like one of those situations of... The brighter the light is, the darker, and basically bigger the shadow that it casts. But because, like, Matoi was always this super pure and innocent person, and she still very much is, that's why she was, like, capable of becoming the profound darkness if she got corrupted in a certain way, which obviously happened there.
You'd think Shion would go back before the second was made, fix everything up, and move on, but they couldn't.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Because that would mean toying with the second's very existence.
Oh, okay, yeah,
life
that makes
itself.
sense. She wanted to give Matoi a chance, so she didn't just undo... Shion didn't just undo everything. Instead, she just went back far enough to be able to save Matoi, or help us save her, basically, so she could have a chance at living a life.
I always figured Shion's guilt and regret came from granting the Photoners knowledge in the first place.
Turns out that wasn't it.
But no, it was all about the second. Everything Shion did was to try and make it up to her.
It was always about saving her life. Which we managed to do at the last second, at the end of episode 3, yeah.
She was like a daughter to Xion. It must have been tough.
In one scene, which we didn't revisit here, she even calls her that. She says something about my daughter. I think it's at the end of when we kill Luther a few scenes ago from where we are right now. Yeah, but she's talking to herself because we'd already left the, like, core mothership reactor where Xion was.
But that's why Xion wanted to save her so desperately. And why they asked you for help.
Yeah.
All this time travel has really taught me a lot. There's still plenty I don't get yet, of course. But we can't just travel back in time anymore. Now we need to gather what fragmented memories we can and piece together the truth ourselves.
Yeah. Going forward. Matoy gets her first outfit change. In the present day.
I haven't seen you in so long.
I might have forgotten to take it. I mean, my keyboard might have forgotten to fuck up last time, but that made up for it.
I was running
Nice camera
all
angle,
over the
Sega.
place working on acquiring special ARCS authorizations. And you seem plenty busy yourself.
Sure.
He's bullying.
You can probably tell as much already, but I'm pretty happy to see you again.
Likewise, actually. Yeah, I'm very happy too. Here we go again.
He's pulling his cock out.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Quite
do
happy.
remember me, right? Please don't tell me you forgot.
Like I would forget just because you got a sexier new outfit. Please, what do you take me for?
Matoi, the one and only. Remember?
Of course I do. You changed up your outfit. Did I say that last time? I'm gonna say it this time. I can't remember if I did. I probably did. I probably did.
Oh yeah, I thought a change of pace was in order. Or a new way to express myself, maybe?
Yeah, you made yourself more naked. Which is why later on somebody's gonna ask you about why you did that, and then you're gonna backpedal and be like, ah. Remember, she's the one who later says, you know, us ladies can't just go around parading everything, and then look at what she's doing, right? She says this when she gets her new outfit. Her episode 4 and 5 outfit, I guess we could say. And technically happens at the end of 3, right? But still, I like that they call her ass out on it. They're like, you're one to talk, Matoi. What the hell? Don't you remember what you were wearing before? Like, look at this. And she's just like, well, you know, she starts backpedaling right away. She's got no excuse.
I'm going to be a real deal arts operative. After begging and pleading, Xiao is finally giving me authorization.
Yeah.
Now I'll finally be able to fight alongside you. Yep, it's time to earn my keep too.
You son of a bitch.
That's why you called me out here today, isn't it, Xiao? As ARC's overseer, you're
Not a
going to
word.
grant me authorization, aren't you?
Well,
Before I give you special permission, there's still one more lesson I need you to learn, Matoi.
what's that?
What kind of lesson? No classrooms involved, I hope.
Don't get all pouty just yet. Our friend here will hear you out.
Okay then, I'm listening.
You really are an easy read. Now then, this lesson isn't any sort of formal lecture. I just want to get you both up to date on the current state of ARCs. I'll be skipping over a lot of the history and finer details, but you can always ask me later about anything you want to know.
Uh-huh.
That's not the most reassuring of responses, but alright. Let's talk about ARCs as a whole.
Okay.
ARCs had finally overthrown the puppet leadership Luther had in place.
Yes.
We lost Xion in the process, but there's no point on dwelling on that. What's done is done. It has taken us roughly half a year to get ARCs up and running again, to put it back on its proper trajectory. Back then, 6 months ago, there certainly was a real uproar when I said I would oversee the management of ARCs. But now everyone treats it like it's completely natural. Time really does normalize all.
I remember that, and I commented on that shit back then.
Next, let's talk about enemies.
I was
the
like,
false
yeah,
spawn.
not always a good thing or whatever. I remember saying that. Normalization of things.
To be quite honest, the situation isn't great. Well, just take a look at this footage.
The Dark Falls Gemini twins.
That planets were just wiped out like it was nothing.
It copied a planet it consumed simply to smash it into another, playing with celestial bodies as if they were mere toys. Instead, it appears this horrible new Dark Falls, known as Gemini the Duplicate, destroys for the sheer thrill of it.
Gemini.
Gemini is already headed for its next target. The planet Harukatan, recently discovered and home to an alien civilization. That's Gemini's next stop.
We need to get over there then.
Right. Which brings me to my last topic. ARC's mission. Our mission now
is to wipe out the false spawn and every Dark Falls out of existence and protect the lives of the universe's myriad inhabitants, right?
Looks like you at least remember that much. Hey, got a moment?
She's so pure.
Can you keep an eye on Matoi and stick with her as often as you can?
That's what makes her attractive. Well, to me anyway. And yeah, of course, Joe.
There's no telling when Persona the Masked might strike again like they did 10 years ago. Plus...
I remember. If I can be there when the time comes. I think that's what I said last time.
Right. Should push come to shove, I need you to be there to handle it. Your knowledge of the truth demands it. 10 years ago, she nearly became the profound darkness. This is an unavoidable truth. And while she seems fine now, there's no telling what might happen. No one knows. Not me, not you, not even her.
Hey, what's the matter? Let's get going.
We're still talking.
She's in your hands now.
And this whole thing leads to a series of unfortunate events that are quite tragic. Proper foreshadowing, I saw that even then. I felt that that's where
You know
things were
what
going.
you have to do, right, Sarah? If anything should happen with those two, let me know immediately.
What sort of plan are you cooking up this time?
I'm actually hoping that nothing happens whatsoever.
ARCS has secured its future, but without Shion's guidance. Any alterations to the past might overwrite the future that Shion worked so hard for. No more big changes, that's for darn sure. The time has finally come to accept the bitter truths of the past. I mean, this is probably how the world's supposed to be, right? I'm curious about what motivates Dark Falls. The enemy ARCs must fight for the sake of the future, especially this Gemini. And gosh, I hope the second's okay. Seems like she's pushing herself awfully hard. I'm one to talk.
I mean, you did basically die trying to, you know.
As for Persona, I've got my suspicions, but I think we need to look a little further ahead first.
Yeah, that was pretty well said. You're one to talk. It's like, you basically did the same thing. You sacrificed yourself for everybody.
Our next story brings us to Haruko-tan, home to the tribes of Day and Night. I wonder what awaits us here.
That's pushing yourself pretty hard, what I said earlier. To episode 3. Oh, there's only 3 scenes for this one. Oh, but one of them's the quest battle, though, which means we're gonna have to fight. Alright, I think we have just enough time for these 3. That's good, because then we'll be caught up. That'll be pretty much it, and then we can actually continue... Well, we have one more sub-story for episode 5, but then we can actually continue the main story for episode 5. That'll be at the start of next stream if we can finish this up right now. And Gemini, the duplicate's whereabouts.
Emergency op alert. We are commencing an operation to reseal the Dark Falls
So
Apprentice.
this next
doesn't shut her up.
Ops,
Gemini,
report to
the
quest
duplicate,
counter and head to
has the
Lily
power to
mining
make
base.
copies of anyone they devour.
Dude, the fact that even starting the cutscene doesn't shut up the announcement is insane to me. I'm shocked, but also happy that that never happened before, because that would have really pissed me off if this was like the first time I'm seeing this scene and that would have happened. Like, what the fuck, man?
Fuck! You bastard! Son of a bitch!
Jesus, whoever designed that crap is a fucking idiot. Okay, Shao says, so this next Dark Falls Gemini, the duplicate, has the power to make copies of anyone they devour?
They
Yeah.
sure did save the worst for last, didn't they?
I mean, it wasn't on purpose, we just couldn't kill him before.
It seems they've already acquired the powers of Apprentice and Luther. And in all likelihood, Elder too.
This is after that one scene. Okay.
Are they likely to show up on Haruko-tan again?
It seems to be one of their favorite playgrounds, so that's our best guess. If at all possible, I'd like to finish them off there. And there's no better way to find out the state of things on Haruko-tan than simply asking their goddess herself. Think you can handle it?
We sure can. All my test results are in and I'm good to go. Nothing can stop me now.
Yeah, you're good to go, alright. She prances
How
away.
about you? Are you feeling quite all right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if you
This
are,
is-
great. I'm just a little concerned is all. Watching you out on the front line all the time like this, I can't help but see the similarities between you and her 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Just make sure you know when to stop yourself.
Haruko-tan, home to both day and night. They sure have an interesting way of life down there. The endless conflict between the Daybreakers and Nightfathers gave birth to both the Ash Maiden Sukunahime and the Demon Magatsu, I guess no matter the place and no matter the people, one thing you'll always find is conflict. Think that'll ever change?
One can only hope, Alma. One can only hope.
Gemini seems to feed on these conflicts too. Nudging them along brings them satisfaction.
I mean, they say nothing stays the same forever, right? Maybe one day that won't be true anymore. Finding, you know, conflict in a place with people or whatever she just said, basically.
But I guess it doesn't always work out so bad. Arcs did break free from Luther's control and take a step in the right direction at least. Still, Gemini is looking to be an unavoidable problem for Haruko-tan and Arcs alike. They've got the powers of Luther, they've had Apprentice for a decade already, and now they've even nabbed Elder. I can't imagine it'll be an easy feat to take down someone with the power to devour the likes of such dangerous entities.
Of course not.
Especially since you and our little number 2 have been at your limits for a while now. That might actually be what's the most worrisome.
If you only knew what was gonna happen next. What I can do for you. What's this? Reaching the future together. Did that just appear? Or was that there before? Well, the name sounds familiar. Didn't we see a scene with a very similar name to this? Well, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to watch it, but if it unlocked, I assume it is. Yeah. I wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know if this was already here when we first switched to this episode or not, but let's just watch it, I guess. Reaching the future together.
So this is where it ends, Sierra?
Oh, so this is meant to be watched after the last one, okay.
Correct. There are more memories beyond this, of course, but this is everything we can look back on.
I'm sorry. I've made you suffer through so much. If I'd just been more attentive, things wouldn't have turned out this way.
I wonder why this unlocked here then if we haven't even finished watching them. Okay, hold on.
I wish it hadn't been this way.
Oh, right, I can't skip it. Never mind.
I just shoved everything onto you.
I was like, we'll come back to this one, but no, we can't even skip it when it's like this for some reason. This is no one's fault.
That's right, Alma. You shouldn't feel responsible for this. You said yourself that this is the future you finally carved for yourself, right? Sure, Matoy and her dear companion faced many challenges on the path to get here. But so did you, right? We all did.
Yeah.
And we're only here because every one of us did the very best we could.
Oh, Sierra.
I'm sorry. I think I just got a little worked up. It's hard not getting emotional after going through all these memories.
No, you're right though. I guess what I should say is... thanks. You may not have helped me by choice, but you helped me nonetheless. And for that, I'm grateful.
Aw.
Thank you for working hard and picking up our slack. Really, truly, thank you.
You're welcome, Mama. How many stars and tickets? So yeah, that was actually supposed to be after we finished this. Why does it unlock beforehand then? We were supposed to watch these first. Oops. What I can do for you? I didn't know because I swear, like, I didn't realize.
Missing. I have my people out searching for her.
Yeah, I didn't realize that wasn't. Like, I still don't remember if that was there before or not. When we first switched to episode 3, I was like, wait, how long has that been there? That's sub-story quest. I don't know.
But even if we do find her, I'm not sure there's anything you will be able to do. So why don't you just rest up for a change? That's all I can really ask of you right now. You see, this is why getting close to you life forms is rough. Stuff like this hits hard.
Yeah, this is after
Right.
this
So,
happened.
I know we're just taking a look at past memories here and all, but this must have been rough. Wanting to look out for someone, but then winding up as the one that person fights to protect. I should know that well enough though, huh? I probably put Reggie and the rest in a pretty similar situation, I imagine.
Yeah.
I did what I thought was best, but it must not have seemed that way for them. There's really no perfect solution. That's why this is so hard.
That's the thing. I mean, when there's mutual love and respect between people, they both want to do what they think is best for the other. So you end up in this sort of conflict of interest in a weird way. Ironically, you end up in a conflict of interest sometimes where one person wants to make a sacrifice for the other, but because the other person loves that person, they'd rather they don't, and they'd rather make a sacrifice for that person instead. And it's just kind of, you end up in this, what did Atlantis call it? You end up in a Canadian standoff. Where you're both too polite to go first, or to throw, you know, like to let the other person throw themselves to the wolves, so to speak. So you want to do it instead and take their place, and then it's just, you just end up in a stalemate sometimes.
But it won't do us any good to keep dwelling on that. We can pick the situation apart until the Rappies come home, and we're not done yet.
That's a nice modification of until the cows come home.
So, the Nightfallers lost everything to Gemini. Luther was still alive in this universe inside of Gemini, and he helped you. And...
yeah.
seriously, getting this all sorted out is Omega levels of ridiculous. The raw, unrestrained behavior of Gemini is what makes them a real threat.
Yeah.
The only thing they were after was the resurrection of the profound darkness, and they pulled that off by giving themselves up to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure things didn't go quite the way they planned, but still, they got what they wanted. They really did us in.
Yeah. Assholes.
But time is still moving forward. We're still alive in the here and now, so that must mean we've at least got hope.
And we managed to save Matoi.
I hope you'll show me just what awaits at the very end of it all.
Well, we'll find out together later, but we gotta watch the last recording. Oh, I wonder if the hardcore gets a little stamp on it when you do that too. I'll probably do that once we finish the classic story first. Like, once we finish the story, I might go back and do all the hardcore battles to see if I can. I'll probably be a level 100 by then, and have much better gear. But maybe it'll be possible? We'll see. I kinda wanna keep practicing the Phallic fight first, though.
Profound darkness has been revived. At this rate, it'll devour the entire planet of Nefarious and regain its full strength. If that happens, it'll mean the end of the universe. We must stop it at all costs. It appears to be anticipating that we'll attack when it attempts to devour the planet. Looks like it's gotten a head start on us by churning out Gemini en masse. We're talking some really mind-boggling numbers here. If we can't break through that Gemini wall, we'll never be able to reach the profound darkness itself. It probably wants to devour the planet and go on spreading throughout the universe, while we grapple with its minor distractions. We can't let that happen. If we don't stop it right here and right now, the universe will end. Everything will be fine, though. If we have you, I'm certain it'll all work out. There's no need to prepare for every scenario. We all know that you can do this.
I'd almost forgotten about this particular quest battle. The more memorable part was, you know, having to fight Matoi and then find a way to save her and all that stuff with the time loop and all that. But this is what came after, of course. Here we go. I do remember this fight, though.
You will soon be teleported to the front lines. Your objective is to eradicate Dark Falls Gemini and open a path to the profound darkness. You'll be facing one of the Dark Falls Collective. We have no idea how powerful it is, so be careful. Do whatever it takes to come back safely. Emergency!
Jesus!
Emergency! Code
There's a weak point. I see it. Extremely low, huh? God. Damn, you really gotta move to get out of that in time. Trying to regain some photon energy. Get out of here. I think my little landing pad had a great timing. Now the real fight against the profound darkness.
The path to the profound darkness has been opened. All that's left is to defeat it. We can provide no specific orders. Fight valiantly and return alive. Period.
I'm gonna fuck you up. It's starting to look familiar. Since we actually had to redo this part of the fight at the beginning of episode 5. killing myself, basically. Pretty sad. Pretty fucked up. It's like... would that be considered a form of suicide? I mean... killing another version of yourself from like a different timeline? But then the profound darkness resets everything. It undoes its own death as it's happening. And then the cycle just repeats itself over and over.
The operation to reseal Dark Falls Apprentice was completed without incident. Thank you for your support, ArcSops.
Completely unrelated to what just happened. Our timing was just perfect. It lined up with the urgent quest being completed about Dark Falls Apprentice. It lined up so well, it almost made it seem like that's what we did, but no, it's a completely different thing.
Are you alright? What happened to the profound darkness? Right. No. Of course you don't know. Even I can't feel it anymore. But I think we finally put an end to it, didn't we?
Yes. Oh, are her eyes actually a little different? They are. It wasn't just her outfit that changed once we saved her life. Her eyes are a little different, aren't they? Like, I think they were, her irises were a lot bigger before she turned into the profound darkness and everything. Like, if you look back at her in her old outfit, her eyes didn't look like that. I might be hallucinating, but I'm pretty sure, yeah. She looked different.
It might not be the decisive win we'd hoped for, but it seems we've at least blocked the profound darkness from manifesting itself.
Shao!
I couldn't be sure just looking at the numbers alone. I'm glad I came to see for myself. There are traces of the time stream everywhere here. It's remarkable. Then there's the profound darkness, which we fought back before it could be resurrected. And for one fleeting moment, I sensed the presence of Persona.
What does it all mean, Shao?
For the two of you, this may be heavy news to bear. But will you bear it all the same?
Yeah, tell us.
Yes, I want to know too. I want to understand what happened here.
If you say so. Before I do, though, just know that this isn't an immutable fact, but simply my understanding of the situation as it stands now. You and the rest of Arcs managed to fight back the profound darkness and keep it from corrupting Nefarious. That battle probably wore down the powers of the profound darkness, letting Persona, its vessel, rise to the surface. Persona saw a chance and seized it. As soon as that opportunity appeared, they unleashed their power.
You're talking about the time stream, right?
Exactly. They turned back time for themselves to just before the profound darkness was resurrected. Bringing along something with such massive photon energy as the profound darkness meant that was the limit they could turn back the clock. Thanks to that, the profound darkness was bound to the moment just before it was revived on Nefarious. But time was only rewound, not altered forever. It was bound to try and revive itself again, here. When it did, Arcs, and more specifically, you, would be there to fight and weaken it.
So it could be rewound again, right back to before the profound darkness was revived. Over and over again. For all of eternity. So you're telling me they're just trapped in a loop, repeating the same battle forever? That's terrible! Isn't there something we can do to save them? There must be.
That can't work forever.
Right. I have the same nagging fears about all of this. There's no telling how long this cycle will persist. Sure, it worked this time. But what next time? Or the next? What about the 10th time around? Not even I can find a solution to that. Even if I have time to focus on my calculations, I can't guarantee I'll find answers. But Persona and Shion have granted us at least this much time. We could have easily met our ends here, obliterated in our ignorance. But thanks to them, we still get to live to see tomorrow. We can't waste what precious little time we have. There has to be a solution out there somewhere.
Yes, we'll find it. I know we will.
Yeah.
We have you after all. The one who helped me, who saved me.
Aww.
The answers we're
Thank
after
you,
must
Toy.
be just ahead, in the future that you and Shion paved the way towards.
Did it all for you, my love.
So
It
please,
was my pleasure.
wait for us. I promise, we'll be back for you.
I know he feels the same way I do. 'Cause we're the same
Well,
person.
thank goodness! Our little Matoy made it back!
Yeah!
The entirety of ARCS worked to help you get where you needed to be. And check this out. Even Persona lent a helping hand. I'm so glad all of you came together to bring her back. Sure, it wasn't exactly the grand finale everyone probably wanted, but it set you all on the path to the future just the same. I can see where this is headed. You search for a way to defeat the profound darkness and save Persona.
Yep.
I totally get why everyone keeps trying to tackle the profound darkness. I get it so well, I wish I could have been a part of it all. I think we're getting towards the end of all these memories. I almost don't want to finish. But let's see what comes next, shall we?
I mean, that was pretty much the last one. Yeah, that was it. It's weird that she says that, but it's like, well, that was it, honey. We're done. So this was the point where we were actually supposed to watch this. We'll watch it again because it makes a little bit more sense now. Proper context.
So this is where it ends, Sierra?
Correct. There are more memories beyond this, of course, but this is everything we can look back on.
I'm sorry. I've made you suffer through so much. If I'd just been more attentive, things wouldn't have turned out this way. I wish it hadn't been this way. I just shoved everything onto you.
Let's see what she says if I just say that's not true this time. Probably the same thing, but...
That's right, Alma.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel responsible for this. You said yourself that this is the future you finally carved for yourself, right? Sure. Matoy and her dear companion faced many challenges on the path to get here. But so did you, right? We all did. And we're only here because every one of us did the very best we could.
Oh, Sierra.
I'm sorry. I think I just got a little worked up. It's hard not getting emotional after going through all these memories.
Yeah.
No, you're right though. I guess what I should say is... thanks. You may not have helped me by choice, but you helped me nonetheless. And for that, I'm grateful. Thank you for working hard and picking up our slack. Really, truly, thank you.
I guess that really was it then. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Which quest are you up for?
Quest not cleared, none. Episode 2, none. Episode 3. Yeah, everything's good. I didn't think we'd actually get through all that in one sitting. But luckily it's because it wasn't like every single scene or quest, basically. Basically, we got lucky that it, you know, it was only key core moments in the story that she wanted to review, not everything we've been through. It wasn't like doing a whole second playthrough of the entire game all over again, you know? We got lucky that it didn't turn out that way. Fucking smacked my microphone. Well, the arm. Oof. Just about 2 hours, too. It took about 2 hours to do all that. Because the first, like, 30-ish minutes was me rambling about why I was gone in the past few days. But hey, we're getting back into the swing of things now. So, you know, that's always good. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me, folks. Normally at this point I would switch over to Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst and log into the Affinia servers. But I started this stream a little late because I'm still trying to catch up on various nonsense after taking the last few days off to do, well, other things, right? But tomorrow I should hopefully be able to start a little sooner. And not only will I start sooner, but from this point on, we're pretty much gonna go full-time on Blue Burst for the next 2 days at least. Because the Affinia anniversary event is coming to an end in a couple days. So I can't go to the bridge right now. I have to go here. Yeah, the Affinia anniversary event is coming to an end, and I want to participate in that and gain some more EXP while double EXP is still on for the next couple days at least. So tomorrow and the day after, tomorrow's the 6th, so 6th, 7th. I heard that it ends on the 8th. I don't know if it's going to be like right on the 8th or if the 8th at like, you know, at the end of it, technically, like, I don't know exactly what time, basically. So we may have 2 days, we may have 3 days. But the next 2 days at least will be... I'm gonna aim for a 4-hour stream, both days at least. And again, even the third and final day, if the event is still going for a few hours at that point, of basically just Blue Burst and Affinia, to catch up on the EXP I missed out on from not streaming the past couple days. I want to do that before the event is over, to make up for lost time. The reason I was even mixing this in this whole month and not just playing Affinia, I mentioned this before it even started, before the Affinia anniversary event started, but it's because I didn't want to like completely forget everything we've done into the story of this game while working on that game, you know what I mean? Now it started off that way, and I was only planning to do 1 hour of this before 2 hours of Affinia every day for this whole month. The reason that changed and I started doing 4-hour streams, which included 2 hours of this at the beginning before switching over to Affinia for another 2 hours, the only reason I started doing that is because because of the fact that the Super Fantasy Festival anniversary event coincided and it coincides and overlaps with the Affinia anniversary event. And I wanted to try to get the rewards for completing the entire story of PSO2. Which I think I technically still qualify if I can finish the story, but we're not going to. If I can finish the story by the 9th, which is literally in just a few days. Obviously that's not going to happen. We still have the entirety of episode 6 for this game to do. That's not going to happen. But it's basically just some minor rewards, basically, that you could get for PSO2 and New Genesis, I believe. I think it was for this game, the rewards. But the event was technically a New Genesis event, but it was for completing the story campaign of this game, the classic game. If you'd already completed PSO2, you just get the rewards automatically, but I'm a new player who hasn't completed PSO2 yet. So I was kind of pushing for that too. I was pushing for 2 hours of this and 2 hours of Affinia so I could maximize my EXP gain on Affinia, but also try to finish PSO2 story before the deadline, which is the 9th, September 9th, in 3 days. So I could get all the little rewards for that as well. And even if I hadn't taken a few days off to do what I did, what I explained at the beginning of this stream, there was no way I was going to do that. There was no way that was going to happen, and I came to terms with that when we were about halfway through episode 4. When I realized how much longer and more in-depth the story became and the storytelling style became on episode 4, I realized there was no way. I thought there was a possibility we could finish episode 1 through 6 when we were on like episode 2 or 3. I thought we could finish before the September 9th deadline because those episodes were relatively short. Episode 1 through 3 of this game was very short and sort of flows really fast basically compared to episode 4, 5, and well, I assume 6 is going to be the same, but I don't know yet. But episode 4 and 5 so far, like I said this in the first half of episode 4, the storytelling really kicked up a notch and became much more in-depth. A lot more scenes, a lot more quest battles. Like, the game clearly became more story-focused at this point. At that point, I should say, at the beginning of episode 4. And that's when I realized, okay, there's no way we're finishing on time. I was like, if they're making these episodes this long now, when I saw how long it took to get through episode 4, I was like, there's no way we're finishing on time now. Like, episode 5 and 6 are probably going to be just as long as episode 4, if not longer. There's no way. And so at that point, I was kind of giving up, but I decided to keep streaming this anyway. And then I completely just, you know, did a full stop on everything when I realized I wanted to get that outfit for Zera that I presented at the beginning of this stream. So I just completely stopped streaming at that point so I could finish that before the seasonal points were unfarmable as of a couple days ago. And yeah, that's how we're here. So yeah, I knew we weren't going to finish this anyway, so I just went ahead and did that. But I did, unfortunately, at the same time, sacrifice time I could have spent leveling up on Affinia during the double EXP event. So we gotta try to make up for that. For the hours that I missed out, let's see, how many days did I take off? Sunday. Was it on Sunday? I can't even remember. It was a few days though. So we missed out on several hours if I had stuck with the 2-hour plan basically. That's several fucking hours to make up for. So I'm gonna try to stream at least 4 hours, but if not, even more. But I will be taking breaks, of course, because I get tired of sitting so long. So I will be taking breaks, but I will be trying to do very long streams to make up for that, of just PSO Blue Burst on Affinia. So we're going to be taking a little break from PSO 2 for a little while, but at least we finished looking back at our old memories, with Alma commentating on everything. And now we can actually continue the main story properly of episode 5 when we come back to PSO 2. On the next PSO2 stream. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll be spending a lot of time on Affinia the next couple streams. They're gonna be very long Affinia grinding streams basically. Again, with frequent breaks though. I will be taking like 5 to 15 minute breaks every hour to keep myself healthy. But otherwise I'm gonna try to, you know, keeping that in mind, I will be trying to make the streams be like pretty much all day or all afternoon if I can, until the event is over. And then we'll come back to PSO2 and we'll pretty much resume our old routine, where I just play PSO2 until we finish it, and then NGS is next on the list, obviously. And then we go back to Affinia whenever there's a 1.5 times EXP boost event. You know, how we used to do things before the anniversary event started. We're gonna go back to that routine afterwards. But for now, that's the plan for the next 2 days. The next 2 to 3 days. And yeah. So that's all for me for now, folks. Those are my announcements for the next few streams. As always, thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate the support across all platforms. And until next time, I bid you all to please take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Don't die. And I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I will see you all then. Peace. Bye. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Whew.